Oh, we are live and direct today with Fantastic Cats, kind of super group that are playing Club Cafe tonight. They have a wonderful new record out, and we are hanging out with a whole room full of WYEP members. Woo! Great to see everybody.
Yes.
Now, the full litter couldn't make it today, but we got two members of Fantastic Cat, Dawn and Brian, and they're going to start us off with a song.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Later on, when they've all gone, I'll save a seat next to me for the long ride home. And late at night, when the world is quiet, at least you'll know in the afterglow you're not alone. Isn't it just madness, the life we made? Chaos every second now, big mistakes. I don't want to be who they want me to be, and nobody sees me the way that I see me, like you see me. Later on, when they've all gone, I'll save a seat next to me for the long ride home. Late at night, when the world is quiet, at least you'll know in the afterglow you're not alone. Well, lately I've been thinking that maybe I shouldn't think. It's caused me nothing but trouble now, among other things. And maybe I've been standing a bit too long in the crowd, wondering if I seem like I make good on my dreams or just flamed out. Later on, when they've all gone, I'll save a seat next to me for the long ride home. And late at night, when the world is quiet, at least you'll know in the afterglow that you're not alone. You're not alone. And later on, it's hard to believe how hard it can be to find some relief. And late at night, when they kill the lights, nobody sees me the way that I see me, like you see me. Later on, when they've all gone, I'll save a seat next to me for the long ride home. Thank you.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we are live and direct this afternoon with a couple of members of Fantastic Cat. They're in town for a show tonight at Club Cafe. And guys, my first question, I subbed this one out. I was talking to my cat, Norm, before I left for work this morning, and he wanted to ask you a question, so you get this little piece of paper. I didn't read it ahead of time. Oh, it just says cats are number one, and there's like a little piece of a hairball.
Oh.
I guess you'd understand.
That's a lot to digest there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. You guys have been a wonderful crowd.
But speaking of cat stuff, I'm sure that people in this room are dying to know how you got your name. So is there a good story there?
There's a real story. This is not a made-up press story, which the rest of it all is made up. So this was something I had thought about a long time, just getting some songwriters together and make a record for fun and not worry about touring and press and all that stuff that comes along with that. And so Brian and Anthony and Mike.
Talking to the mic.
Yep. Oh, Brian, Anthony, Mike. We just kind of carved out a couple weekends in the Poconos of Northeast PA to record a record, which we did. And after COVID kind of was dissipating, we said, we made this record. Let's do one show for fun and kind of get in front of our friends and say, hey, look what we made. So when we were at a bar one night going, we need a band name to put in the flyer. We said, there are no good band names. We're not going to come up with one. No matter what we say, it's going to sound silly. So when the bartender comes back, let's ask her for her band name. And we shook hands. We said, whatever she says, that's our band name, because that's the way it goes. She came back, handed us our beers, and Brian said, if we were a band, what would you call us? And she didn't even hesitate. She said, Fantastic Cat. And that was it.
Yeah.
And we marked it down. She could have said Cats, but she said Cat.
We were pretty half in the bag at the time, but
We think she said Fantastic Cat.
we were like, that's amazing.
She said-
You're amazing. We love you.
She might have said Metal Face, but we heard Fantastic Cat.
And now you're a cat band, which is pretty cool. And I love the visual artwork that surrounds this project too. Like I know people on the radio can't see it, but it's all over your guitar strap. How did that come together? Is this like band?
That's also
crap?
an easy story.
Is it?
For that very first show, let me take this one, Brian. For that very first show, we had a photographer friend of ours take some photos, right? So we said, we need a press photo. And we took the photos, and as soon as we looked at the first one, we said, nope, nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see this. So we just sort of had this idea, what if we threw together, so we were a folk rock gorillas. And we made a bunch of cartoon cat heads as a kind of a joke, I guess, but also no one wants to see us. And then it stuck. We said, let's stay with that.
But for what it's worth, for anyone listening on the radio, we have movie star good looks that
Yes.
are hiding underneath the cat heads.
Yeah.
No more questions asked.
We didn't want to intimidate anybody with our looks.
Yeah,
so.
we didn't want to. We wanted to seem humble.
It's working. It's working. I gotta say.
Is it though?
For these purposes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, did everybody already know each other, or how did the band itself come together?
Yeah.
You take this one, Brian.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Donnie. Yeah, so we all kind of met through the New York scene, the sort of larger touring scene that comes out of New York. I had met Don at a bar. I toured with Anthony before. I met Mike through Don. And it was just, it all started all fell together very naturally. And now we are, all being sued by the same person.
Well, I really liked your debut album, but I really, really like this new one. I think that you guys just like really coalesced as a band. And like this new one, it sounds like Fantastic Cat versus like a bunch of different guys in a band. Can you talk some more about that?
Yeah, that was a conscious effort from after the first record. I think we toured and we started to understand what the sound of the band was, and the goal for record 2 was to come together. We figured out our sound. Now let's write that record. Record 1 was us just playing around, having a good time, which has also created a pretty joyous record in and of itself. But record 2 was the sound of the band.
Not having a good time.
Having a very stressed out. We're like the Eagles if they really didn't get along.
Because I imagine it's different approaching a project as a band versus as you guys have done in the past as solo artists, because it's at least according to other musicians I've talked to through the years, like it's a completely different beast, right?
Yeah, it is. And as Brian said, the first record was very easy to make because everyone is a great songwriter, especially me, and they come in with songs and we just recorded them as is, jumping on different instruments. On the second record, we made, as Brian said, made a conscious effort to go, what should this band sound like, and when I write a song, how can I incorporate Mike into that, and Anthony into that, and Brian into that? So that's the result.
Oh, worked well. The new album called This Now that's what I call Fantastic Cat. I struggle with that one. I'm sorry, but I'm working on it. Now that's
You're in radio. It doesn't
now
matter.
that's what I call Fantastic Cat. And these guys are playing Club Cafe tonight. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more, but love to hear a couple more songs from you.
Absolutely.
Read the news in her interview. She went up, she went high, went low. Chose her words like a connoisseur, but that was a long time ago. took another name and got a letter from the town where she was born. And it said, I don't know when you'll be coming back again, but nothing happens much around here anymore. Oh, oh, oh.
Ooh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la.
So glad you made it.
Ooh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la.
So glad you made it.
And oh, misery, you've got nothing left on me.
Twist the truth, but the rules remain the same. There ain't no way around this. So I said, babe, if you ain't swimming, you're drowning.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
So glad you made it. Oh, yeah.
Fell asleep in a flower bed with rows and roses on my head, and oh my God,
So glad you made it.
fell asleep in a flower bed with rows and roses on my head, and oh my God,
So glad you made it.
and oh misery, got nothing left on me. Twist the truth, but the rules remain the same. There ain't no way around this, so I said, babe, if you ain't swimming, you drown. And oh my God,
So glad you made it. So glad you made it. Oh, yeah. So glad you made it. So glad you made it. Oh,
I said, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad.
so glad you made it. La 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 la. La 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 la. So glad you made it.
They've asked us to go right into the next song because they said our talking was a liability. So, oops. All right, this is a song. Oh wait, you wanted to talk some
No,
more?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
That's something dumb to say.
This is a song off our first record. This is called Fiona. Fiona, I won't stand here and pretend like I don't care. Look me in the eyes, kid, and say your mother's prayers. They taught you how to be a real good woman. They taught you how to fight. But they did not tell you once about how love can change a life. So say it once for the cheap seats, so they can understand. I'm gonna miss you till I'm with you again. Fiona, I could tell you about how I won the war. It took a few more years than I thought, and it cost me so much more. But I'd hedge my bet, every drop of sweat, and every card I drew were the simple signs of the tortured time that brought me here to you. So say it loud for the old man Vietnam. I'm gonna miss you till I'm with you again. Oh, 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 no.
Fiona, when you're lonely, do you wonder if you're dead? Like some accident is happening, but they haven't told you yet. Do you ever feel like a leaf at the mercy of the wind? Like some cosmic joke asked up on a smoke and took off with your friend. So if you dare to wander and there's strangers bed you're in, I'm gonna miss you till I'm with you again. Ooh, whoa,
So love her if I'm crazy, oh then that's just what it is. I'd spend 1,000 years in Leavenworth prison and I'd still feel like this. But the rules can change, and though it feels so strange to not know what I don't know, so I'll pull you in just to touch your skin and to feel what it's like to float. And come the day that I lose you, or the dark is imminent, I'm gonna miss you till I'm with you. I'm gonna miss you till I'm with you. I wanna miss you till I'm with you again. Oh, 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 look out. Thank you.
Well, that is music from Fantastic Cats. They are playing a show tonight at Club Cafe, but drop down this afternoon to play for some WYEP members and everyone listening out there in Radio Land. And Brian, I apologize if this is calling you out because I don't know if it was a mistake. Your little voice crack in that song, like,
big mistake.
I don't know what it is about that, but it's like it's so perfect.
Thank you. I get my pay docked for that, but yeah.
Okay.
No, I do that. I'll do that in the exact same spot tonight.
Yeah. And Dawn, you were pretty okay too.
Thank you.
Really, really
I tried
nice.
to get a crack, but it wouldn't come out.
Yeah. So, listen, I was at the Flaming Lips show here in Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago, and I went to, I don't know if I was getting a beer or something, but I saw a guy wearing a Fantastic Cat t-shirt.
Yes.
And I had to approach him. I was like, man, I love that shirt. And I think he was like a little defensive. He's like, do you know this is a band? And I was like, yeah, I know they're a band. And he's like, do you know they're coming to town? And I was like, yeah, I know they're coming to town. Did you know they're coming to the radio station? He's like, oh, that's incredible. So this has nothing to do with anything in
Then
the
you got
question.
into a fight?
No, but that was it. Like, that was the extent of the conversation, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I know this has nothing to do with your music, but are you the kind of people that wear a band's shirt to that band's concert?
Yeah.
'Cause I think it's very telling.
I don't understand when this became like taboo.
Brian got upset. Everybody just...
We were discussing this last week in the van. I don't understand when it became uncool to wear the band's t-shirt to the band's concert. That seems like an obvious place to wear it.
Right. So have you been noticing Fantastic Cat shirts in the crowd, and is that cool for you?
Yeah, we like to joke that we don't have any hit songs, but we do have a hit t-shirt. Yeah, we love to see them out in the wild.
Yeah.
And
We're basically a merchandising operation that
Yeah.
puts out records to sell our T-shirts.
Whatever works in 2024.
You're also speaking to the two most muzzled members of the band, so it's good that I pulled the catalytic converter out of the van before the show.
Well, regardless,
that may or may not be true.
No one will ever know.
regardless of how you come to the show and what you're wearing, I think that everyone, no matter which side of the stage you're on, is really having fun. Can you talk about how like having fun, being loose, plays into how this band works?
I'll tell you that
That's the wrong kind of voice
No.
crack.
What happened early on, and this was genuinely, even though it seems calculated that we have these heads and cats and all that stuff, it all was very organic along the way. And from the very first show on that we did, when we said, "Hey, everybody, check out this record we made," we didn't want to be four guys, on a stool playing acoustic guitar with a hired band behind us. So we said, "It doesn't matter. We're not a band. Let's just figure out. We'll play everything." Like, there's no drummers in the band. Everybody doesn't play bass, but we just said, "You play bass on this. You play drum on this." So the switching, that was just, no one could figure out how to play drums the whole time. So we just gave it around, and that just kind of became an organic thing where we were having fun doing that. You know, and then also making fun of each other, which is the highlight of each of our days every day.
Oh my God! When we get a good one off, you won't believe it.
God
Joy.
forbid somebody's voice squeaks during a song, because they'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, I'm sure the guys are listening right now, and they heard the voice crack, and I'm sure it'll be played back for me later.
Anthony's like, "Get this to the station quick! Shut these guys down."
But
Wait,
Anthony likes to joke that we have a band ethos that's very George Costanza-esque, which is let's just do the opposite of whatever we were doing before, and it seems to be working out great.
Summer of George, baby. That's it.
Summer George.
Well, the first song on the new album is one of those ones that really made me laugh when I heard it, like one of those ugly laughs. And it's about, if you haven't heard the song, it's called Oh Man, and it's about a few different people who kind of, their lives ended up in different places than they'd planned. So, like, for example, you plan to move to California, you run out of gas in Indiana. Now that's your life. Or you end up selling feet pics. So I want to know, like, you don't have to pull the veil back if you don't want to, but are these real people that you write about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Indiana,
It
their
is.
van broke
It
down.
is our only song about selling feet pics. I will say. You know, it might be the only song ever written about.
You gotta
selling
have
feet
one.
pics.
By the way, for clarification, this is not a product that you pick things out of your feet photos. Just for clarity, everybody out there. Oh.
Hey, we got a couple sellers
Now
in
it's
this
a good
audience. Don't let them
song.
play
People-
dumb.
Now it's a good song.
people are into that. That's like a thing these days. We'll talk. Let's talk after. I'll show.
Yeah. Well, then we should just play another song. We're live and direct today with Fantastic
Live?
Cats,
This is being recorded. Wait, what?
the comedy/music show takes place tonight at Club Cafe, and their new album. Now that's what I call Fantastic Cats. How about one more song, guys?
Hey, thank you guys for all coming out, checking us out there. I've been feeling so tired. I've been feeling destroyed. Thought there was a stronger man than me. Watch me for a minute. Don't take your eyes off me. 'Cause honey, I choose a steady hand. Ain't this the strangest town that we all walk around, chasing everything we'd ever thought we'd need. But when the sun comes up and we're drinking our last cup, just don't forget you love me when it's done.
I fell in love with a moment, and it kicked the hell out of me. I thought I was much taller, but I'm weak. So watch me for a minute. Don't take your eyes off me. Honey, sing those words you said last week. Ain't this the strangest town that we all walk around, chasing everything we'd ever thought we'd need? But when the sun comes up and we're drinking our last cup, just don't forget you love me when it's done.
I've been feeling so tired, my head is always spinning like a tilted world that never stops to sleep. And still I'll watch you for a minute, won't take my eyes off you, 'cause honey, we just can't afford to lose. In this strangest town that we all walk around, chasing everything we'd ever thought we'd need. But when the sun comes up and we're drinking our last cup, just don't forget you loved me when it's done. Just don't forget you loved me when it's done. Don't forget you loved me.
It's Fantastic Cats, live and direct on WYEP, the new album. Now, that's what I call Fantastic Cat. They're out on tour, including a stop at Club Cafe tonight. How many more days till you get to go home and see your own cats?
Literally never.
1,000.
This is a 10 shows in 10 days run, and then we go to Europe. So it never ends.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming by.
There's actually more shows in between, Brian.
And there's actually more shows in between then and now.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming by. It was a pleasure to talk to you and hear that
Thank you,
music.
guys. Thank you very much.